And he's right. The left want to hammer you down. The left want to push you down and aggressively keep you there with force. And that's why this book is so important, because it talks about the use of force. It talks about the use of using authoritarianism to keep people in pods, to keep people in clusters and tribalize everything and cram down certain aspects of what they want upon you through these institutions. Welcome to the Bald Brad Show. Our story here is dealing with the great conservative Ben Shapiro's new book has finally debuted today. It is on the shelves. It is called The Authoritarian Moment. Be sure to go pick up your copy at a local Barnes & Noble, Amazon store, or Premier Collectibles if you want a signed copy. This comes from our friends over at the Daily Wire. If you're not already a member, please go over and subscribe today. It is written by the Daily Wire, and they title it, Ben Shapiro's new book, The Authoritarian Moment, debuts today. The article starts off here saying the latest book from Daily Wire editor Ben Shapiro hit store shelves on Tuesday, titled The Authoritarian Moment, How the Left Weaponized America's Institutions Against Dissent. Shapiro's book examines the threats to the United States coming from the authoritarian left, threats that emanate from journalism, academia, Hollywood, corporations, and tech giants, and what can actually be done to stop them. Again, I can't recommend his books enough. They are fabulous books. Awesome, beautiful, lovely books. It goes on here to say, but Shapiro doesn't merely catalog a list of bad actors. He lays bare the intolerance and rigidity creeping into all American ideology, according to a press release. And Ben does a great job of taking tough concepts, examining them, and really breaking it down for the reader to fully understand. And what I love about his books as well is not only is he breaking down tough concepts, but he's also giving solutions to how we can fix the problem as well, which is nice. Again, I can't speak more highly of his books as somebody that's read all of them. I have a lot of signed copies from Ben. So again, I'm going to push this book big time because he speaks about current events. He speaks what's going on right now in everyday life. Again, the current events of the left and how they're destroying this country. It goes on here to say, in his book, which is available for purchase on Amazon and from other online retailers, Shapiro dares to challenge the mainstream by asking, what if, in fact, the most pressing authoritarian threat to the country lies precisely with the institutional powers that be? And what if authoritarianism has many strains? And the most virulent strain isn't the paranoia and fear that sometimes manifests on the right, but the self-assured, unearned moral virtue of the left. Quote, the authoritarian left is aggressively consistent that everyone must conform to its values, demanding submission and conformity. The dogmatic left is obsessed with putting people in categories and changing human nature. Everyone who opposes it must be destroyed, according to a press release accompanied the book's debut Tuesday. And he's right. The left want to hammer you down. The left want to push you down and aggressively keep you there with force. And that's why this book is so important, because it talks about the use of force. It talks about the use of using authoritarianism to keep people in pods, to keep people in clusters and tribalize everything and cram down certain aspects of what they want upon you through these institutions. It goes on here to say with the quote, Ben Shapiro looks at everything from pop culture to the Frankfurt School, social media, to the founding fathers to explain the origins of our turn to tyranny and why so many seem blind to it. And I love that he's going back to the founding. If you know anything about Ben, he's a big Revolutionary War or Revolutionary Era type person, just as I am. And he's going to take you in a big picture from beginning to current day here and see and interwove the patterns and the trends that have happened and that ultimately led us to this type of tyranny that is taking place within our institutions. On social media, Shapiro, who admitted to being biased about the tome, said the book is a must-read and goes to the heart of why the country is being ripped apart and how we can fix it. And Ben's talked a lot about that, about the social fabric being torn apart, our institutions from big tech, again, the social media being torn apart, the separation between the American citizen as well as the government. There's a lot that could be jam-packed in this book, and I can't tell you enough. I cannot wait for this thing. This is where I sit down and read this book in one day with multiple cups of coffee, some nice food, relaxing music playing on the TV, a nice maybe Strauss or Brahms playing. It's going to be great. The book is already winning praise from leading voices. Abigail Shrier, the author of Irreversible Damage, a must-read on the left's obsession with gender, noted that Ben Shapiro is single-handedly trying to shake America from a dangerous slumber. The Authoritarian Moment is a klaxon bell for anyone willing to fight for an intellectually open America before it is lost for good. And she puts it in such a nice way. That writing is beautiful. And she makes a point here, before it's lost for good. And that's the direction that we're going here. We're not getting more liberties. We're not gaining more freedom in this country, folks. We had all of that at the beginning. And that's why Ben's going to take you from beginning to end to show you how those freedoms has slowly been chiseled away. And I've talked a lot about that on my show, especially when it comes to the Second Amendment of you not buying certain capacity magazines. You can't get a bump stock. You can't get certain things on your rifle. There's certain things happening that they're slowly chiseling away at it as time goes on. It's not going to happen in a blink of an eye. The left is going to aggressively take what you want and what you need and what God has given you. Gina Carano, who was herself canceled by Disney before coming on board with the Daily Wire to pursue her filmmaking dreams, added that in one of the biggest power grabs in modern day history, where big government, big business, major media, and big tech manipulate the mob to push through their authoritarian agenda, there are standouts like Ben Shapiro fighting back with everything they've got, leading the charge against cancel culture and calling out the uncomfortable truths. They can't cancel us if we don't let them. And Ben Shapiro is determined to demonstrate how we don't let them. It goes on here to say the Authoritarian Moment is available on Amazon, Barnes & Nobles, and wherever books are sold. Shapiro, a New York Times bestselling author, has published 12 books, and I recommend you try reading them all. Some of them you're not able to get in hardback. I'm a big hardcover person that buys books that way. I'm not a big fan of the paperback or Kindle, but if you are, you can always get it cheaper going those routes. Let's support conservatives here by buying their books. If you haven't checked out Michael Knowles' Speechless, you have that there. Andrew Klavan is a great writer as well. If you haven't seen any of Brian Kilmeade's books or any of those conservatives from Fox News, let me know. I can give you great recommendations. I love to read. I love to read conservative books here, and I got a lot that I could push out to you and let you know what I think you should read here. But thank you so much for watching the Bald Brad Show. Make sure you like and subscribe to this video. Go over the Daily Wire and become a subscriber. Buy Ben's book. And folks, I will see you a little bit later here on the Bald Brad Show.